Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Megha Sharma. I'm standing right now at the Royal Thai Embassy in the middle of New Delhi. It's a very special occasion for the people of Thailand, for the government of Thailand and particularly the Embassy of Thailand that has decided to call people because it has opened up its arms, it has opened up its doors for the people of the world to come and experience Thailand once again after the pandemic. Yes, joining me on the broadcast right now is the Ambassador of Thailand. It's good to have you, Patarat Hongtong, with us on the broadcast.
สวัสดีค่ะ Namaste Namaskar
Her Excellency, tell me about this event, the specific reason behind holding this very special gathering to tell people that the land of smiles is now open for everybody. Come and visit Thailand.
Yes, we want to welcome Indian tourists to Thailand with the amazing new chapters of Thailand after the pandemics that in 2 years, the past 2 years, that we couldn't see each other, travel to each other. So now the situation overall is better, improved by the vaccinations. So Thailand start reopening, inviting our tourists and friends to visit Thailand. And lately, we already concluded the air travel bubbles with India, which will, provide us the opportunity to have more scheduled flights. And Indian government also relaxed the measures of the bans of the international commercial
flight. Now we
flight.
have a commercial flight that are open, and that is going to open up massive revenues when it comes to the India-Thailand ties with terms of tourism, with terms of hospitality.
Yes.
Now, what I experience over here, and if you could take me through this, small slice of Thailand that you brought for us, and very graciously as well, if you could shed some light into the idea behind doing this all.
Yeah, because we want to show you today the kind of street food, Thai street food that provide the comfort food, local food that we eat daily in Thai families and society to the Indian peoples for you to try. To see that if you visit Thailand, it's not only for shopping, it's not only for fine dining, but you can go to the street food to see the realities of people, to meet the local peoples and learn the traditional ways of cooking. So that's why we show you today the showcase of some of Thai dishes.
And I've been told that you have gotten your personal chef over here.
Yes.
To create all these beautiful cuisines for us. So this is Guai Tuai Guai.
Kway Tiao Gai.
Okay, great. So your pronunciations are definitely better than mine.
Noodles.
Okay.
So for Thai street food, you have different kind of noodles. Sometimes it's flat like this or kind of vermicelli, the thin one, and sometimes you can have the egg noodles. But the ways to prepare noodles are also different. Today we prepare with the chicken, which popular in India. But in Thailand we have duck, we have pork, we have beef. So many kinds of noodles. So this is a showcase that if you go to Thailand, you have to go for the noodles. Whatever noodles that we have, always delicious.
No, I had a bit of everything, the delectable spread that you've put out, and trust me, it's every bit delicious.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
And I'm again looking forward to going back to Thailand because the last time I made a trip to Thailand was back in school when I was in 9th standard, and things have changed. And you held a presentation and quite an expansive one. You told me that there are some unexplored, uncharted territories that have also been opened up as this new experience and attraction that people can now think about, decide to go. If you could shed some more light into it, what is it that is going to attract more and more tourists back to Thailand after the pandemic?
I think, of course, that the hospitality, the people, we always, open and welcome and want to meet our guests. So the hospitality is a kind of something that always in our heart. So this is a strength, and it's even better because the people who you will provide the hospitality during these past 2 years, they have been well trained and upscale their skill. So I'm sure hospitality will be the key. And there are different destinations. We have new destinations that have been improved during the past 2 years. So there are some new places that never been explored before. And then the infrastructure. You can travel in Thailand from place to place easily because of the connectivity, the flights, the lands, the road, and also the water. So there are a lot of things that wait for you and do in a better qualities and more sustainability.
Absolutely. The one concern that tourists across the globe and obviously in India as well, would be thinking about is the pandemic norms. How is Thailand geared up to ensure that every single safety protocol is followed and your visit is safe, secure, and enjoyable as well?
The government and also the agency involved with the tourism sector, they are highly aware of this matter. This not only because we want to provide the best protections and control for our foreign visitors and the tourists, but also for our own national peoples, that we want everyone to be safe from COVID as much as possible. COVID protocol has been, put in the kind of the measures that all the hotels and the hospitality sector has to be well trained and well aware. So all the hotels, they train their personnel, they put the measures, they ask the guests to follow the protocols.
Absolutely.
Upon the airport until even the transportations, and then to the hotels. And in the press, the restaurant, everywhere you will see it. I myself, I just went back to Thailand, and I was so surprised that everywhere I visit, people wear, for example, the mask. Yeah, it's a kind of part of our daily life. So this is the awareness that the local Thai already have in their hands. So no wonder that when the foreigners, the tourists visit Thailand, they will see and we feel confident that they will be, treated properly to avoid the COVID-19.
Absolutely. That gives quite a lot of assurance to the number of people who are now COVID fatigued. They want to step out. They want to travel overseas. They want to go back to their popular destinations. Thailand amongst one of the biggest global destinations that attracts a lot of tourists. And of course, revenue is something which is Thailand is primarily dependent on. And finally, before I let you go, Ambassador, my big question to you about the historical, cultural ties that India and Thailand have shared over the decades, over the centuries, and what is the future ahead for India and Thailand?
I think many Indians know that Thailand and India, we have the age-old history relations through the religious and also cultures. We share a lot of common heritage and cultures. But these days, in the past, I think in the past 20 years, our relations have been developed in a more multi-dimensional manners that is extended to other areas. Economic is one of the areas that have been increasing dramatically in the past few years. We see the numbers of trade that has been increased and also the investment for both sides. Now many Thai investors in India. And of course that political and security is the backbone of the relations. Absolutely. And now we see more of the people to people, not only tourism, but people to people in other areas as well, that they have known each other and travel to each other, see each other more and more. And we want to see in the future, we want to see the cooperations in the more contemporary areas like the STI, science, technology, and innovation, that we see India's achievement on the advancement on this area. So the IT, fintech. So we want to exchange the expertise and knowledge with India. And also on the vaccinations, that India is, pharmacies of the world. Yeah. So this is the area that we think that perhaps we both countries can exchange the expertise, the experience that we had during the COVID-19 and develop some projects together. So, and of course that people to people through the tourism, this is the key. Yeah. Since if people know each other better and better, no wonder that the relations will be, more strengthened and sustainable.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you put a lot of insight into what the future is going to look like prospectively for both our nations. Thank you so much.
This year will be the 75 years of our Indo-Thai diplomatic relations.
Exactly.
Our relations dated back like 2,000 years ago, but the diplomatic relations is 75 years, the same year as independence of India. So we are true friends.
Absolutely.
So we hope that we will see more of the exchange of the visits or even the cultural programs and the activity that can raise awareness and understanding between the people levels, both in India and Thailand.
Very succinctly put, Ambassador. Thank you so much, Ambassador Amb Hongtong, for joining me on this very special broadcast. And like you said, the land of smiles is all open for the world and for the Indian tourists. And we are going to put it out there for our audiences. Go visit Thailand. It's safe, it's secure, and it is completely hospitable and giving you all the enjoyments of the world, whether it is culture, history, religion, or you talk about adventure.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.